This episode of Getting Table is brought to you by Valhalla Hobby. Use code TABLE to get 5% off any order over $100, one use only. That's valhallahobby.com. Please consider becoming a Patreon for $2 a month. You can listen to the recording live and get the episode early.
Brought to you by some guys on the internet.
This is Getting Tabled.
With your hosts, Jason the Bruce,
You guy!
George the Yang,
I hope you are all entertained by my inaptitude.
Jason aka Major Socks.
We've been doing this and talking about various stuff. One of the stuff.
Now sit back, relax, and get tabled.
Hello, future people, and welcome to episode 146 of Getting Tabled with your host, Major Socks.
Yep, it's me and just George and JP listening in. So thanks JP for listening in, being a patron. But Bruce is off gallivanting, playing LARP Intrepid City.
Yeah,
with his new handlebars.
he put some ape hangers on and joined a motorcycle gang and is cruising around the wilds of Australia. Yeah.
How's the weather up there in No Man, Wyoming?
We don't have snow. It is currently a balmy
Not yet.
43 degrees.
Getting there.
It was pretty toasty warm today. I'm not going to ask because it's gross hot and humid down there. So
Actually, we're on a cold front right now.
ooh, so what is it?
So-
60?
Yeah, it actually might freeze overnight. So, but then yeah, warm back up a little bit to mid 50s, low 60s. So,
Alrighty. So I suppose we should probably get going on this this junk.
yep.
Newly received or noteworthy information, especially about recent or important events.
So first up on our list, we have Mechie Plus, which is a pre-built carry and display case for Warhammer. It is on Kickstarter. There's 18 days left to go. They have smashed their goal of $3,251. Currently sitting at 77,000. Yeah. God, I couldn't. Almost 78,000. I couldn't. I can't talk tonight. Apparently, good lord. This is in
So, yeah.
Australian prices. Is this? Yeah. Okay. So, let's see. So $90. $99 Australian. So 65 US, which that's pretty reasonable for a case.
Yeah, and they have various different sizes of trays and stuff like that. And in the video on the Kickstarter, it shows that you can put models down in the tray, and then you can push this little lever down to lock all your models in place so they don't fall out, which is kind of handy.
Ooh, I like that. That's like a very guaranteed. This is not going to fall out. I do like that.
Yeah,
When I was first seeing this on my Facebook feed, I was looking at that like, oh hey, the trays go in like that, and yeah, it's like, ooh, that's gonna fall. If it locks in, that's not terrible.
yeah.
Let's see. So the
But
one
even the trays have a locking system so that they stay in the container itself as well. You just use a small little screwdriver or something like that to
yeah.
unlock them. So
So it's saying it can carry 40 hex-based minis. So I'm guessing that's like your standard, like, I wouldn't say Primera size. I'd say like your normal, like
25.
yeah, like your more standard size bases. The cool thing about these, see if I can scroll down and find an image of it. They have a display case feature as well, so you could mount it to the wall. Oh, so here's one with a larger model with a little clip that rotates to lock the base down, so like larger models can't just fall off the base either, which that's really cool. Overall, I think this is a really well thought out, well designed case. The one that is on the screen right now that I've been scrolling down through endless photos of it. it's not going to fit, like a larger horde army.
No.
Like my fire slayers, like all built out and everything. Like I couldn't begin to hold all of those just because I'm gonna have like I think 60 like normal warriors. So there is an option here, and it looks like they've partnered with Duncan of Games Workshop fame to do a Academy hobby case. So way back, there was I can't remember what it was called, that everyone lost all their money on except for the third-party products that were being offered. The Bruce lost money on it. Thunderboy lost money on it. Can't remember what it's called. I'll look it up real quick. That turned out to be a complete scam. Well, not an intentional scam, but it was. It turned into everyone lost their money kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember what it was called.
I'm trying to remember what it is, too. I remember I was talking about it. I'm trying to remember what the product was now myself.
Yeah, I'm pulling up my Kickstarter real quick because it is in my backing list. It is... Come on. It's loading. This is entertaining YouTube right here. Studio X.
Yep, there you go.
So this could potentially be a Studio X alternative, with the ability of a portable hobby carrying case. I don't think I can click on those images, make them larger, but it is showing it carrying brushes, paint pots, specifically Citadel, which I think is odd for it to be the Duncan Rhodes Painting Academy hobby case with his own paint line, but they're showing GW paint pots. I guess that's to show versatility, since Duncan's paints are your traditional dropper, and these are the Citadel pots.
Pots, yeah.
So this could be the alternative people were looking for. It does look like it's a very solid, sturdy construction. The vertical supports look like they're extruded aluminum or some type of aluminum, which, super durable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So scrolling down, it shows how the trays work for all the 25 mil bases, and it looks like they have like a rubber silicone gasket at the bottom of each of the.
I'm gonna interrupt you real quick, Socks. I've just scrolled down far enough. They have a variant where it's carrying 4 knights.
Yeah, I did see that.
Which those are not small. So this could be scaled up to carry your horde army. So I could easily carry all my fire slayers and the 2 dragons that I have for that army. So go ahead. Sorry, carry on and continue.
Yeah. So for the little trays that will hold all your smaller minis, that has a little locking lever. It looks like as you push the lever down, it has a silicone or rubber gasket type mechanism that will then tighten around the base so it locks inside that tray. And it shows a few different prototypes that they developed as they were planning this. So cool looking little gadget there because we all know that carrying cases can be nice until all your miniatures decide to fall over, right, George?
Oh yeah, for sure. So I've scrolled down to the cases to fit the Warhammer Old World. It looks like it's a very modular type base setup, so you can do your square and rectangle trays. God, I really like the look at these. Let's scroll down the rewards here. Okay, so I want to see how big that 4 demon case is. Come on, scroll down more. So they're starting to get pricey. They're about 135 for the double tall case. 205 Australian dollars, 134 US. I'm still scrolling down trying to find the
6XL case is about $104.
The Mechie 24 quad demon case. So this would be like, this would be to carry all 4 of the greater demons for Warhammer. That's 162 US or 250 Australian dollars, which that's not a terrible price if you think about it. So some of my other cases that I have that I carry my Space Wolves army in, it is a Japanese tool company specifically toolbox called KTC, and I want to say they're super hard to find. Like I found a distributor here in the U.S. that was able to order them. They specifically do like motorcycle tools, and the toolbox is great because it opens up the top. It's double cantilevered, so there's like 2 trays that come up, and then a large, opening in the bottom. And the trays are held in with pop rivets, so if you drill the rivets out, you can just pull the trays out, so you can fit taller stuff and whatnot. Okay, those run $230 for one of those toolboxes. So I don't think one of those toolboxes can carry all 4 greater demons. So I think this is probably a pretty good deal price wise for a good protective case to carry your army in. Okay, so
large models.
Yeah, here's one, the Meki 24 plus quad demon case. It's listed at 300 Australian, 196 US. Okay, here we go. Meki 24 24 plus construction bundle. That's 227, and this looks like that one might have the all the accessory trays and stuff like that. So if I were to do something like that, that's probably about on par price wise with one of the toolboxes I was getting. But this is a purpose built thing. I wouldn't have. Like that toolbox, I was having to cut sheet metal, bolt and glue it into the bottom so it was a nice flat surface, et cetera, et cetera. This is, purpose built, ready to go with trays designed to hold on to bases. Now, here's an interesting one. A Kill Team case for $32. Which, Kill Teams, they're not huge. Bad. And that's fairly perfect.
Mm-hmm.
So all in all, I think this is a really great idea. I think this is something that has been needed in the hobby space that really hasn't been available, that no one's really taken the time to do.
Yeah.
Just because there's been so many different options. There's the Citadel foam, which I've never liked. There's the classic, what I do with the toolbox. We've got the organizers now. We've got the MDF one that I got that is pretty okay. But this looks really good. I hope this is successful enough that they can make it to retail so you can just go and buy it. Just because I don't know if I would want to back something like this in hopes it gets delivered. It's successful, so I hope they're successful enough that they can go to the retail market. Here's one, an image. It's showing, a couple of squads, 2 drop pods of Dreadnought, 4 Rhinos, a Land Raider, and 2 Demolishers in the case, which, that's a lot miniature-wise. So, this is really brilliant. I think this is probably one of the best thought-out design cases. Hey, here's a little add-on tab so you can unlock your minis easier. Here, let's see, this one shows it holding one of the big Warhammer tanks, the Baneblade chassis. It's not the barrel, but it's the chassis. And it's they're making it so that it meets carry-on guidelines for air travel.
That's nice too. I also saw in here that if you have your miniatures magnetized, they actually have metal sheets as well, designed for this. So you can have either tray.
So now here's what really kind of caught my attention was this is a carrying case for your army, but they also have wall mounts, so you can take this carrying case and mount it to the wall, have your army on display with LED
and
lights,
then take it with you.
and then you unclip it from the wall and take it with you. Like,
Yep.
that's fairly genius. I really like that. Ooh, and you can get some custom engraving, so you could put your army name on it or your name.
Yeah.
Looks like we've got some stretch goals. They've unlocked all the way to the Monster Mini Mech single 60 millimeter. We got a few more to go. I don't know if they'd make it to the 500,000 mark they've set for themselves. I would see them easily getting 100,000. And this is probably in Australian dollars, so I'm really interested to see this get to market and hit the retail space. I think if they can get to retail, I think they'll be even more successful. I'm just so burnt out on Kickstarter as far as failure.
Pledges.
Yeah, that something like this that looks so great. It's this looks legit. Hopefully with the backing of Duncan, like he's looked at this too, and it's like they're a little more legitimized.
Worthwhile.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, really, really great case idea. And like I said, it looks like it's an extruded aluminum or something. So like super lightweight, super durable. Which
it has aluminum, but as its main frame portion, and then the sides are out of plastic, and it's all recyclable materials.
So I just scrolled down enough here. Kickstarter 2023, it was ABS plastic sides. For the Kickstarter now, it is aluminum sides. So I was correct on the aluminum. Really great looking case. And here's a picture of them with Duncan. So, I hope this really does hit retail and they are successful with it, because I'd love to see this in the retail space.
Yeah, I agree.
Next on the list, we're going to talk about a company, Games Workshop.
Who's that? Who are they?
Yeah, right. No secrets are safe from Silberland Servos, the greatest whisper merchant of all time. He is a creepy little dude.
Yeah, so running around in a little mechanical chair of some sort.
Yeah, this is for Necromunda. He's kind of got a feel of the dude from Alien 3 that was in the wheelchair.
Yeah.
But not quite, because, Necromunda. It looks cool. I would love to see this as like a hero figure for Mechanicum. But I think that's all we gotta say about that. Next on the list, after I accept more cookies, is this is for looks like it's more Necromunda. It's the Abyssal Ferryman, which it's kind of a cool take on a Greek mythology, question mark.
Yeah.
For a character. I love the head sculpt look on the big guy with the giant pole arm. And of course his companion looks like the kind of guy that'd swindle you out of anything and sell you a ketchup popsicle while you're wearing white gloves. There's a artist rendering of that head. I wish I could click on that image and make it a little bigger. But yeah, there's something else about the big guy from somewhere. I can't quite place it. Like with that belt. I don't know. And then finally, some Lord of the Rings characters. Skank Rort, and the Snow Trolls, Scavengers of the White Mountains. Wow, that troll, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
That troll
looks really nice.
Troll looks baller. I would love to see that in Sigmar and Fantasy. Shank and Rart, those, yeah.
Yeah, just some little normal orcs.
Right.
Scavengers.
Shank's got a pretty cool looking, pole axe thing with some armor. Rot looks like, or Rort, however you say it, looks like he's kind of dumb. That snow troll is like winning. Yeah,
Yeah, they did a good job on that troll.
that looks pretty dope. Next on the list, War Games Atlantic. Dead Animal Bits. An overlooked model accessory.
Yeah,
Because
I mean you got
what's better than an orc warrior with on a base and an orc warrior with a hook with a head hanging off it, or a giant shark skull, or not skull, jaw,
yeah,
some antlers.
yeah, ram's horns. What else we got here? Hands that have been impaled on the ends of javelins or
Spikes, hooks, yeah, like
spikes. Yeah, feathers, shark's teeth, all sorts of antlers, all sorts of stuff.
34.95 for the sprue, which is very important to note out because on the screen here it says pay over time with orders over $35. So it's literally 5 cents short of you being able to break that 35 out in multiple payments.
Yep.
That's kind of just make it 35, please. Just add 5
Yeah.
cents and. But that's a great looking sprue. I will say this: I love how they've used like an actual plastic stand to kind of get it upright and hold it in position for the photography. Like that's a very simple, classy way to do it. I like that. Looks like on the sprue here, got some rib cages too,
Yep.
and even just beyond dead, like you could add some horns to stuff. Give something a more chaos look. Or a Sylvaneth look with some of the elves and their horns and stuff. Like you could really, use these as good conversion bits too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Next on our list, we have Black Scorpion miniatures. The first one is the Musketeer, which we'll go back to this one. Can we expand it? We can. First and foremost, as they've done in the past, I'd like to point out the studio painting job where they have done, they've done it to where it shows off the mini, but they've done it to give it that extra depth and feel. So now, zoomed in, it looks kind of terrible, but if you zoom it out, it looks really good, and there's more to the mini. So I can appreciate them showing it like that instead of, just, perfectly painted. And here we've got the cork stand with the bare resin mini. Lots of great detail on that.
Mm-hmm.
And then next on the list, we have the Bounty Hunter. Which,
and again, the paint job on that cloak is amazing.
That cloak looks stunning. And this is a very traditional Wild West Bounty Hunter. This looks more of the... what's the word? The original mold before they made, or the original sculpt for the mold.
Yeah.
But it's a very traditional Wild West feel. The hat pulled down, the cloak, double six shooters. Great looking mini.
Almost has this sculpt of him walking through a dust storm. I mean, with his head down, trudging forward, got his dusty cloak on him.
So this is gives me more of an appreciation of some of the creative minds. Put a mechanical kind of face apparatus on him, and that's Cad Bane.
Yeah,
like that was this is the look they were thinking of when they created Cad Bane, of the wide brim hat, the cloak. Like this is the inspiration for that. I'll bet $1,000 that this is what the designer of Cad Bane had in his mind when he made Cad Bane.
Yeah, I would agree.
Again, like the way they've got the hat design, you get those nice little edge highlights, just pop it, make it look good. Great looking mini. Have we talked about Black Scorpion miniatures before? That name doesn't ring a bell.
Yeah, I don't remember us talking much, but we might need to dive into them a little bit more.
No kidding. Moving on to Micro Art Studios pre-colored Japanese terrain, which that's very important for Bushido, because Bushido
Absolutely.
terrain. I'm pretty good with Japanese pronunciation. I don't know what the The top right one is the brown building.
Yeah,
That's 39, 36 euro.
yeah, that one looks pretty amazing.
That one looks very authentic as far as the colors.
Yeah. And the nice thing is it's painted on the not only on the exterior but also on the interior too, and it opens up so you have
Oh,
the various
really?
different levels. Yeah. Um,
Let's
I just
open up
clicked,
that
I just
one.
clicked on that one. It looks really, really nice. I mean, they've got nice detailing on the wood floor.
Oh, wow.
All those.
That detail looks really good. There's even cracks in the plaster. That's
Mm-hmm.
fantastic.
Yeah. And kind of the water runs from the tiles on the roofs and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's pretty stunning. Okay, and I'm going to apologize for the next few minutes. Oh, hey, they even show the pictures of the assembly instructions. I am currently fighting a sneeze, so I apologize for the way I act and talk for the next few minutes till either this goes away or it comes out. I will mute my microphone before it comes out, though, so I don't blast out eardrums. Let's take a look at another one of these buildings here. Let's go to
I just looked at the Don Fungzi.
the
And it
Don.
almost looks like. It almost looks like that one. Almost looks like a.
It looks like a traditional, like it's a shop slash family home.
Yeah,
Almost.
exactly.
Or, oh my goodness. So having spent some time in Japan, and I actually had been in some Japanese residents, and it's still very traditional to have the rice mat flooring.
Mm-hmm.
And the shape and design they have, that's exactly what it looks like. Like, I'm not exactly, like, rooms are built to hold the rice mats in a perfect size. So it's like you just lay them down and it's like they're there and done. That is really stunningly well done. I like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, this one breaks down to 3 stories. God, it looks more like they say it's pre-painted. I would almost say it looks like it's printed on.
Mm-hmm.
With that level of detail.
Yeah, I agree.
And again, the assembly instructions they're pretty straightforward and concise.
Yeah. You have an interior. Most of the buildings have like an interior frame, and then you have the exterior bits. But
so now,
so far, it looks pretty easy to put together.
Yeah, the one thing I will say that kind of does turn me off a little bit is, these are anywhere from 40 to 55 euro a building. So
Yeah.
if you're doing a Bushido board, you only need like 1 or 2 of these with a couple of the pieces of terrain. Like they've got some ruined walls and stuff, or they've got infinity specific deployment police barricades. But again, it's just, it's a little bit on the pricier side. Looks great though. Like,
Yeah.
there's a reason why it does cost what it does, is because it has an extra little je ne sais quoi in the appearance.
Yeah.
Let's see. Next up, we've talked about them a lot. Crooked Dice.
Sinbad.
So, yeah. And it's such a
Iconic genre.
I was gonna say, like, there's so much of a story there with
Yeah.
the Arabian Nights, where it's like, it's like, what is it, 100 stories so she didn't get killed or
Mm-hmm.
have to be bedded and stuff like that, and just there's so much there in that intellectual property that I really wish like a good studio interpretation of it would be done. So here we got the evil sorcerer. And in reality too, I really can't, like, I know Crooked Dice has that tongue-in-cheek of like, this is an alien agent, it's Men in Black, or Psycho Killer, it's Michael Myers. These really are, I would say, almost a very independent design
Mm-hmm.
from the stuff they've done in the past. Like I'm looking at it doesn't get much bigger. The Black Widow, like
Yeah.
that's a very good like nondescript female assassin mini,
Mm-hmm.
and it looks absolutely stunning. The only one here that I would say looks like anything is the Cyclops.
Mm-hmm.
And that Cyclops looks like it was pulled straight out of the Harryhausen Clash of the Titans from the 80s with
Yeah.
Maggie Smith and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
She's the only one I can remember because she obviously she passed away this year and played McGonagall in Harry Potter. But that Cyclops looks like it's out of that Harryhausen movie. The rest of them look very unique, original designs, not pulled from anything.
Yeah.
Like
I agree.
here, and then again too, it's a very like well known like. There's only so much you can do. Like look at the Sinbad the Sailor mini. Like that's not Sinbad. That's the there we go. Like there's only so much you can do with a independent design of that intellectual property.
Mm-hmm.
And with it being so underrepresented, I think they've done a really good job of actually doing something that's not tongue in cheek.
Yeah.
Next on the list, we have Warp Miniatures on their Patreon. November to follow up October. The Mousehold Cavalry and Friends. So
Yeah.
we
got
have
gnomes riding mice
yes,
and rats.
we have gnomes riding mice and rats. I would love for there to be enough of these to make an army and fight Skaven.
That would be funny. That would be funny.
We are mighty gnomes. We are riding your brethren into battle to fight you.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Here's one riding a rat, and the rat looks like he's smiling. But his it's not a lance, but a spear. Has heart underwear tied to the end.
Yes.
How very gnomish. These look really great. Oh, this one is definitely kind of a wild rat. He's got a crazy eye and some wild hair.
Mm-hmm.
This is probably one of the cutest armies I've seen.
Yeah, most of these rats are actually smiling, except for like the one you just mentioned.
Yeah,
which is kind of
so that's probably
fun.
A rat. Probably a rat. The mice look like they're happy and smiling.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is cuter than it has any right to be. It's just see if there's anything about this. Nope. Yeah, they released this October 3rd. I can't believe that this is probably one of the best things I've ever seen. I also love the name the Mousehold Cavalry.
Yeah.
Next on the list, we have some TT combat news. The Staff Fleet Painting Competition. So
we got a UCM fleet and a Scourge fleet.
No.
PHR fleet.
No.
Oh, we got more.
Oh wait. Oh, I've got the UCM Shaltari fleet image up.
Oh, yep, that's what I got. Sorry.
So, I quickly clicked over. UCM, they look great as gray, and unfortunately because of that, like doing any other sort of paint scheme looks weird on them. Like if you're to do I think Thunderboy, friend of the show, Michelle, I think his UCM is majority white. And it looks good and okay, but I've seen some of the UCM where they're a different color, where it's, instead of like
a standard gray.
I was going to say like that palette, black, gray, white. Like, I think you can get away with those, but if you start getting into greens, yellows, blues, like, it doesn't look right. And so I think, unfortunately, like, the best UCM fleets are always going to have a gray majority color to it. The Shaltari I'm absolutely loving because what do we see out of TT Combat? We see the traditional yellow-orange Shaltari. To see this purple like that, I think is a really nice change of pace.
Vibrant purple, especially with that neon green to complement it.
I would say more of a lime green. Well, it's more neon than lime, but yeah, very vibrant green. It's just it's that great color wheel contrast. I'm sure if you were to look on a color wheel, that green is going to be opposite of that purple.
Yeah.
So, the next is a PHR fleet that is, holy cow, that is yellow.
That is very bright yellow.
That is one of the best yellows I've seen laid down in a mini. Like, this is better than the Iron Jaws orcs in 40k that are yellow, or is it Sigmar? There's orcs that are yellow, and this yellow is even better than that.
Yeah, it's really well done.
And again, another UCM fleet, which is gray. It looks good, but it's still gray.
It's got a dark gray, but then it's got some dark green paneling,
and some copper highlights on some of those.
Yeah.
And then we got Scourge. Again, Scourge is, because of the original colors of Scourge, like greens always look good for Scourge. The one on the left here, we got green and blue. The one on the right, we got green and purple. The green and purple is obviously the more traditional Scourge paint theme. I do like that green and blue, but that green and purple, it's just that, it's that color wheel. It's the same reason that Shaltari looks good. Yeah. Is that color contrast.
The last two we got are the Bioficers. And we got a purple one with some white areas, and then we got a dark green and black with some of the paneling.
With some yellowish gold highlighting.
Yeah.
Is that it for the...
Yep, that's just those 8.
No, we got more.
Oh, we do have more.
Yep, there's another UCM. This is a very darker gray, more towards the black with some white UCM. And then we have a Scourge that is, I would call that a metallic blue.
Yeah. With some gold highlighting on the edges, on the edges of those fins, which look great.
And then we've got some Bioficers, which are blue, pink with gray, red. I would say that's probably one of the best looking ones just because of the gradients they've got on the panels with just the way the other colors are blended in. And then we've got a Shaltari that's a purple to blue to white gradient, which looks pretty good. I think those gradient schemes, if you can do it, look great on Shaltari. That PHR looks good though. Fleet 13. Yeah.
That dark blue, dark royal blue or whatever.
With that, I would say metallic to give it that little bit of a shine. I don't know if that's just an actual metallic with light hitting it. If that's an OSL effect they've done.
Yeah,
looks really great. The green Shaltari though, I do like that, and I like how they changed it up too. Where if you look at the cruisers, it's green and orange. But then if you look at the gates, it's green and blue.
Blue, yep.
So that's pretty cool.
Pretty nice looking.
Finally have some resistance with orange, some green and gray, almost a white. And then resistance with green.
And some orange and some grays.
And then we're back at the beginning. I'm going to scroll through these. I'm going to have to go with probably Fleet 11.
Through that one.
That
Bioficer.
The Bioficer.
Yeah.
First and foremost, all of these look great. That yellow on that PHR, that purple and green Shaltari, like all the UCMs have a good UCM look. But Fleet 11, those Bioficers, like the colors work, and then all of these look great, but the skill and level of talent that was used on Fleet 11 is absolutely stunning. I would love to know which TT Combat employee did that, so I can tell them to jog on and stop showing off.
Yeah.
Because and again, all these look great.
Yes, they do.
That green Shaltari though, that because it's got that gradient effect of dark to light.
Mm-hmm.
But they've stayed in a more consistent color with that green, and it looks so good too. But I'd have to give it to that Biofisser. Not just because the Biofissers are new and it's something new to look at. It is that good.
I'm leaning towards Fleet 10, that Scourge fleet with the metallic light blue.
Yeah, that is a pretty good looking one too.
With the gold edging on the fins.
But then again, I also have to again. Whoever did Fleet 3 for the PHR with that yellow, please document that on how you get that yellow like that. That is something that the hobby world needs to know, because yellow is one of those colors where it is just so difficult to do, and for that to be just that bright and vibrant, like it is, I'm so happy with it.
Stands out very well with that black fins and
oh yeah, for sure, yeah. So my next question is, and I would assume and hope so, that all of these fleets were probably done with TT Combat paints. So, please, whoever did the PHR Fleet 3, please do a write-up and documentation of your process on that yellow, because it is vibrant and stunning.
Yeah.
Next on list for TT Combat, some Rumble Slam.
We got some kitties.
We got
a big ball of yarn.
Well, it's an animated cat of yarn.
Well, yeah.
It's the purloined Puissance?
Puissance? Something
Louis,
like that.
Louis, send me an audio message with the pronunciation, please. That's almost dangerous to pronounce. Let's see here. We've got the does it have names here, or do I have to scroll down for that? I can scroll down, but then I can't see the images. So we've got the one cat. I would call it a scribe. It has a little standard cat holding the parchment while they're holding a quill.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have a Hulk tiger. That's the best way to describe it.
Yep. Yeah, very muscular, great looking pose. And then we have.
Then we've got the yarn monster, and I think that's the best way to describe it. It is a black and purple yarn cat with a button eye and another eye has been stitched on. This is whimsical.
Yes.
Then we have, lack of better words, an Aladdin cat. He's got the little fez wearing a rose holding the lamp. It's an Aladdin cat.
And he's got a bag of money behind him, almost like he's stealing it. Just like Aladdin would.
Yep. No, for sure. I'll give Aladdin more credit, though, from the Robin Williams Aladdin movie. Aladdin stole to feed himself. So
yes,
he stole food, not money. I'll give him that credit. And then finally we have a fat cat. Quite literally. He's fat.
Yeah.
He's got a vest, well, a waistcoat, I guess they would call it, with a jacket that only top button can be buttoned because he's so fat, and he's got a tie. Like, he's trying to be a proper gentleman, but he's fat. And on the back, you can see the stitching where he's ripped his jacket open.
Apart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's the Richard Fisk of cats, but he can't afford a proper tailor.
Yeah, it's very true.
I'd say the Cat Hulk, like, just because it's so.
Yes.
The only thing I could say is looking at I'm going to go back to the main image. He's got white pants on with like the red, I guess jacket tied around his waist. I would have made the pants purple. I would I would have just gone all in on the Hulk look. Like, he's already big and green. Just give him the purple pants.
I mean, he's already got purple armbands. It would have been just
right.
as well to have the purple shorts on top of it. Would have gone well.
Do the belt in white, do the pants in purple, and leave the red as red. I think that would have been more authentic to the to the look that was going for there.
Yeah, I agree.
And that's it for that. So let's do one of these that we haven't done for a while.
Indy. Definition. Independent. Type. Slang word. Jargon.
Gaming mats that enhance your tabletop experience. So,
yeah,
first and foremost, a gaming mat does so much for the feel of your game.
Absolutely.
It adds a vast amount of texture and terrain without adding terrain. The other great thing it does too is it does give you a softer surface. It does give you a smoother playing surface. In the case of if you have cards, it makes that surface easier to pick cards up off of.
Yes, absolutely. So I found this one just by scrolling through my Facebook feed. We've all seen those neoprene mats, like the mouse pad ones. These are actually made out of cloth, and they're made in a way that you can put stuff underneath it to create hills and other terrains, and it conforms right on top of it really well because it's not made out of the stiff neoprene material that we're aware of. But they've got some great designs. In one of the pictures, you can actually see down at the bottom where it says "Battle Map Bazaar, stay connected." You can see a picture of a pirate ship, and you can actually see where they have a rock printed on the mat, but they have something underneath it to make it look like it's sticking up out of the ground, and yet the rest of the mat is still perfectly flat on the table. You can't do that with a neoprene mat.
No, yeah, neoprene gets too thick. This is really clever.
And they're not bad prices either. I mean, because I'm looking at my pile here. I've got probably close to 7 or 8 different style neoprene mats, ranging from 3x6 to 4x6, and they run about $75 roughly. And so same kind of pricing here. I mean, they've got.
Here, let's look at double-sided Desert Dust Up and Snowy Field. So 40 inches by 30 inches,
which is $60.
Which is $60, and then if we go all the way to 80 by 60, that's 120. So let's see here. Oh my gosh. Calculator. 6 feet times 12. And then 4 times 12. So the 60 by 40 would probably be the best bet because that gives you that 6 by 4 experience, which that's the pinnacle of gaming table size. If you can have a 4 by 6, there isn't anything you can't play, right?
Yep.
So, and that's $90 for a mat that would do a 4 by 6, double sided, and with what you were talking about, the ability to put foam under it to give it actual terrain features. So
so it's 60 inches is only 5 feet, as JP mentioned, but it's oversized like that so that you can put stuff underneath it.
Yeah.
And it still fits on your standard size table. So that 80 by 60 will still fit on a 4 by 6 foot table. As you put stuff underneath it, it'll conform to that 4 by 6 and have a little bit of hangover a little bit.
Yeah, so I'm talking about like something just big enough to cover a 4 foot by 6 foot.
Yeah.
That's that's the ultimate goal, is to have a 4 foot by 6 foot table. And if this mat needs to be bigger, because I've got the image up where they show step 1, you put a table up, right? Step 2, put some books on the table. Step 3, roll their mat over the books. Step 4, you've got a table, a mat with actual like terrain elevation underneath, and so it looks like it's all part of it. So right here, plush cloth versus neoprene versus vinyl. So obviously, all of they've got a green check mark in every category. Which, Resist creasing, realistic texture, larger than standard 4 foot by 6. What was I saying, right?
Yep.
Easy hills and valley. Those are what they're claiming as what they can do that no one else can do. Which
Yep.
That's fair. That's what they've designed is I'm assuming they're printing this on the cloth, so I'm assuming they have some sort of printing technology that works better on cloth that you can do you can do on neoprene or vinyl.
And they have mats that have grids on them, so you can have hex grids printed on them. You can have I think I've seen square base grids. Yep, square grids. So you can print or have these set up for your RPG and still have a 3D looking table
Yeah.
underneath.
Well, and what's the other thing too when you're doing D&D with your grid and stuff like that? You got the hill. Well, how's the grid work? Well, the grid follows the hill you make here. Here's the other thing I'm going to point out too. Socks, how do you store your neoprene mats? Do you fold them up to a square and put them on a bookshelf? Or do you roll them up and have to have some sort of exactly. Like this, you could fold up into a square and put it in a desk drawer.
Put it in your backpack and carry it around with you.
Yeah. I don't know how many game mats I've got for Darwin's Journey, Lords of Ragnarok, the Game of Thrones. Like I've got mats for all of those, and they're all rolled up and taking up space. Versus, you could put these in a suitcase. It's not going to hurt them because it's just cloth.
Nope.
This is a really cool find. My question is, can you do custom images?
It'd be awesome. Something that definitely ask them.
Because to have a cloth that overhangs and covers my table, that's a nice
Yeah.
gray with a green logo that says "Getting Tabled" and some white dice on it. That'd be pretty dope.
Would be pretty cool.
I think the other thing too is the fact that some of these are able to do double images on. Like I've got the Putrid Swamp and Corrupt Forest pulled up right now. Those are both super simple, basic, easy, designs. Actually, this one's giving me a good close up of what the fabric looks like, and it's not even it's something as simple as cotton. It's almost like a I would say almost like a felt, kind of almost it's a very, very dense, flexible fabric. And again, this image quality on this just looks absolutely stunning.
Mm-hmm.
And again, we're into their benefits over the competitors. Yeah, this doesn't look like a normal traditional fabric.
Yeah, it definitely got some weight to it because it's durable. But yeah, like I said, I just found this scrolling through my Facebook feed one day. I looked into them. I was like, we need to talk about this because you don't see very many mat companies out there that's doing this. So,
I mean, don't get me wrong. I love the traditional vinyl, not vinyl.
neoprene.
I don't like vinyl playmats. I don't like them at all. I would either have paper that's if it gets damaged, it's just paper. It was $10, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't care. I would rather have the neoprene where it rolls up, it lays down flat. You don't have the curling on the ears,
The edges.
It's just a good, solid, sturdy playmat. This looks really good though, and the fact that it can drape and hang off, and this looks really good. Good find, Socks.
Yeah, appreciate it.
So, I think it's time to move on to this.
Cream, blue, prime, paint.
What have you been up to, you slacker?
Writing 2 final papers for my class. I have a 5-page paper that I just no, I still got my 5-page paper that I got to work on. I've been working on my 6-page paper, but I just got some new hobby tools that I will be using in about a month, a few weeks. So we looked at these. We looked at their what is it? Their wet palette.
The wet palette
From Red Grass Studios, and I got their little handle, and then I got some changeable heads as well. That way I can put a little modeling putty on top of it, stick my models on it, and then as I'm...
How many of the tops did you get?
So it came with the one on the actual handle itself, but then I got a total of 4 more of the small ones.
Okay, so you could do like a tack squad at a time.
Yep, and I got a four of the larger ones too. So
okay. So
I plan on using these for some of my dystopian war stuff over the Christmas break here in a couple weeks. So when school is officially over and I don't have to worry about anything for a few weeks, I will definitely be putting some paint to some models finally. It'll be good to get back into it.
Yeah, I looked at those. I was looking at the painting house, and I have a large monster base for like the dreadnought size minis, and then the regular ones for like your TAC Marines, Fire Slayer, stuff like that. The regular normal troops. I've got the Citadel ones, the first gen ones that don't look like a butt plug. I got some of those, and they work all right. But the problem is I'm holding it like this, and I don't like that. I like to hold it like this.
Yeah.
So I've been looking at the Game Envy one, which has like the finger support. And there's 2 different sizes. And they screw on, and then the finger support can twist. So I'm probably going to get those here pretty soon to give those a shot. So I think that'd be a good, interesting, like, comparison of what you like about those, what you don't like, and what I like about the Game Envy, what I don't like. The
nice thing about this is the bottom of this is magnetic, and it actually came with a little magnet sheet that I can put on top of my bench, and so when I'm done, I can just put it there and it won't knock over.
I can do that with any modeling handle. It's called I glue a magnet onto the bottom and
that is true.
Put a piece of sheet metal and it'll stick.
That is true too.
but as a built-in, you don't have to like do anything else with that.
Yeah,
that is pretty cool. Except for the fact of you kind of need to get it right the first time when you're putting your sheet down.
Yeah.
But yeah. So how much was all of that total ish?
45.
That's not terrible.
No, not terrible at all.
I want to say. Let's see here. So it's one handle, and you can do 5 minis. Oh my goodness! Games, workshop, painting.
I can actually do 9 minis because I've got the 4 extra large and the 5 small ones, so I could do.
Okay, yeah. So a Games Workshop painting handle is $11. That's one handle to do 1 mini.
Yep.
So, and then I think I was looking at the Game Envy. Game Envy also has a good looking wet palette too. I don't think it's as good as the Red Grass, but it's still like has a seal and a clasp latch to keep it closed. I know what's his name, Ninjon. I know his he has one through them. As far as like licensing. So the hobby holder. So the one I'm looking at, it's the handle, the insert that's threaded to like do the threaded caps, and the 2 finger rests. Those are $38, and then for $250, you get 10 screw-on tops. So about the same price as what you did for yours.
Yeah.
But it has the finger support, which, as I'm getting older, I'm getting more unstable.
Yep.
So, I mean, I could still, that's pretty steady, but if I'm sitting there and doing it for hours, like my hand's going to get tired a lot faster than I was 20 years ago.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
yeah, I looked into the Game Envy ones as well, but I like the idea of being able to swap between models real quick. which is what I decided to go with this one. And I'll try it out, and if I like it, it's a good investment.
I think in the long run, it's back to that game case we talked about at the beginning. I think it's, more and more people are starting to think about good things for the hobby.
Yeah.
So JP says he loves his game Emmy ones. The GW ones also use the same threaded rod, that camera tripod. Yeah. So I was looking at like trying to modify the GW handles, or at least the spring parts, because I've got like 5 of them. And like trying to print finger rests, but the threaded portion's just too short to mess with, and I didn't want to go through like trying to buy like extending the thread and stuff like that. But yeah, JP has a very solid point that those Games Workshop ones do have the same threading as I think it's a quarter threading that tripods use. And stuff like, so
yeah,
you do various mounting and supports with those as far as beyond the handle.
Yep.
So yeah, that's I'm looking forward to hear back on you on those. It's gonna be,
for sure.
Gonna be like a month though, right?
December 14th is when I go on break, and that's when we're flying back home to Utah, and that's when I'll be taking a bunch of stuff with me. So yeah, about 3 weeks from now.
Okay.
What have you been up to?
What have I been up to? I got all my Sylvanas glued back together.
That's good.
I got all my Custodes glued back together. Did I do anything else? Question mark. Let me see. I did fire up the 3D printer, but it was to print some battery holders for some random guy that posted on Facebook. I did get my bench cleaned up some to glue all the things back together.
I
think I'll bring this up in hobby time actually. So
we're in hobby time.
Yeah, I said I think I'll bring this up actually. So yesterday, Simon posted, and I think this was an actual a confession without them actually confessing to the debacle of the Death May Die Fear of the Unknown campaign.
Yep.
With the game being at retail for the last 4 months in August since Adepticon, I still don't have my copy yet.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
So for 4 months for it to be at retail, and backers are just now starting to get them the end of November, and the majority are going to be in December. That's a pretty
sad business.
I was going to say disappointing fulfillment. So back at San Diego Comic-Con, there was a Godzilla exclusive mini for the game. You could only get it at San Diego Comic-Con.
Yep.
There were copies available at Adepticon, and I was going to pick one up, and JP was super awesome. JP is a rock star for this. Put me in touch with someone who was at Adepticon that said, yeah, I'll go take a look at the booth, see if I can pick you one up. The ones they had at Adepticon were on a raffle. So you couldn't just go buy one. You had to enter a raffle to get one, which was pretty crap, right?
Yeah.
So yesterday, Simon posted that, hey, we're still working on this. For those who've been following and whatnot, if you back the next campaign, we'll give you that for free. So this convention exclusive miniature / scenario add-on is no longer an exclusive. And for those who do follow and support Simon, they're actually giving something, a little thing to the backers of, hey, we're kind of, this is how I'm reading it. We kind of screwed up on this. If you back it again, we'll give you this. That's how I'm interpreting it. Because and where's the screenshot I sent you and Bruce?
Yeah, I was gonna try and pull it up myself.
Let's see. Okay. As a token of our appreciation, we've prepared something special for all Cthulhu Death My Day backers. We're excited to announce that the Forbidden Reaches campaign returning backers will receive an exclusive version of the Godzilla promo box entirely for free. So I don't know what they were charging for it at Comic-Con. I know it was going for $100 at eBay on retail for people that went to it, because you could go back every day and buy one. You could buy one a day, and Comic-Con's like what, 4 or 5 days. So there were some people that were they were taking advantage of the fact that they were able to be there, buy one every day, and then sell it for a substantial markup.
Scalping prices.
Essentially, yeah. Let's see here. Then where's the other? So yeah, today we're back with more updates on the delivery progress and hopefully some good news. Shipping is moving steadily, and the finish line is in sight. We're expected challenges. While expected challenges delayed the timeline, we ensure that you are doing that. We assure you that we are doing everything we can to ship high quality rewards to you back as soon as possible. So that's how they started that off with, and they said, so if you back this again, we'll give you this. So like I said, I interpret that as we've screwed up pretty badly. We're gonna do that, because if you think about it, even it's a $40 add-on, right? So that's, I don't know how much they were actually selling for at Comic-Con, right? So if you cut that by 50%, right, that's $25 for the manufacturing of the mini, the packaging, and all that stuff. So if you figure, let me pull this up, the last Kickstarter for Fear the Unknown, where's that at? Was a few thousand people, and some of those were retail pledges too. But if you figure $25 over, however many thousands of people, that's not a small chunk of money to say we're going to give this to you. Okay, yeah, so I'm pulling it up right now. Campaign, 21,337 backers. So, nope, that's the calendar app.
You're looking for a calculator?
Yeah, I'm trying to pull up my calculator.
You said how many? 21?
CAC calculator. And like I said, and this is just a pretty quick gross. So 21,337 times 25, right?
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
I was
530.
So $500,000.
Yeah.
So
over
that's,
half.
So that's a gross over exaggeration. So let's cut down even more. So let's say $12, right? Times 21,337. That's still $250,000. That's not a small chunk of money. Because let me pull that back up. Because let's see here. So that was for Fear of the Unknown, right? So let's go back and look at the original Death May Die campaign. Yes, load more. Okay, so the original Cthulhu Death May Die, the campaign had, where's it at? 15,000 backers. Well, 15,800, right? The Fear of the Unknown had 21,300, roughly. So we'll just call that simple math, an increase of 5,000 backers. So potentially we could see another 5,000 backer increase. So 25,000. But this is only for previous backers. So if you figure that, you got to figure at least 20,000 people are going to back that.
Yeah.
And that's to produce that mini, the packaging for it, that's not going to be cheap.
No.
So, and that's why I'm interpreting that of we've screwed up. Here's this. If you please don't get pissed at us anymore. Which they'll screw up again. It'll just be an ongoing vicious cycle. Because quite frankly, it is still my number one game. If I sit down to play a game, that's the one I want to go to, and I don't want to sit down and learn more rules. I want to sit down and play that game because it's fun. It's great. And the new campaign is supposed to launch in December. I still don't have Fear of the Unknown. Am I going to probably put my name down on the list for it? Yeah, probably, because it's such a good quality game in my opinion. And that's what's making me mad at myself is they're screwing me, But
Yet I
doing
want more.
this, yeah, it's such a vicious cycle. But it's just one of those things, you know. It's like you with Legion before they screwed it up. You know, it's just like
Yeah.
you were fanatical about it. You had what, 4 armies for it?
Yeah. Actually, I had all 5 by the end.
There, I mean, you had everything for it because that's how much you liked it. Same thing with this. I literally have everything I can have for it right now. Once my pledge shows up,
Yeah.
I'm gonna do the same thing. Which fortunately this time around it's gonna be less harmful because I've gotten all the stuff I missed on like the giant one and the very exclusive box that I spent way too much on. But
Bruce has done some hobby.
Bruce highlighted us on some stuff while he's in his biker
Away.
gang. No, he's in his biker gang. He's in a gang right
That's
now.
true. That's true.
No, I saw a post. It looks like there's like over 100 people there, and he's having a great time. Everyone's been super nice, no issues. So it's really good that he's getting out there doing that, getting in a good headspace, and having fun with his new mode of transportation. He's truly fallen in love with that thing. As terrible as this is sound, it sounds like that accident was probably one of the best things that could have happened to him.
Yeah, unfortunately, you're probably right. But yeah, he played a game of Cthulhu, won that game. Cthulhu Death by Day. Bruce, I don't know what you did. You're finally winning something. Oh wait, that one doesn't have dice. So
yeah, no, it does have dice. It does have dice.
Must like him that bad then.
Well,
Anyways.
so you succeed, nothing, or you concede and go insane. And if you go too insane, you die. So
well, he still won anyways.
So,
and then he lost the game with Moonstone, and then he's been working on his Intricacy
a lot
game as well. Oh well.
Yeah,
so.
He's been doing a lot of artwork for it and doing some different concepts, which what he's done has been great. So it's good that he's been doing that and is still working on that. So Yep. So I think that's enough of hobby. Let's go to this one.
Talk nerdy to me.
So, a elephant in the room, an excuse. I'm gonna say, and it was an excuse for Mythic Games. Will rising shipping costs cause smaller gaming companies to shut down businesses? And that's
so I saw. Yeah, it's very open-ended question, but I actually saw this on the Soaping Wars Legion page. Because there are stores that are not ordering anymore to restock because it's costing too much for them to ship stuff from the UK into Canada.
Yeah. And yeah, that is an issue because, as the prices of everything goes up. I mean, I'm sure you felt it with, a wife and 5 parasites, right?
Yeah.
What's your grocery bill like on a weekly basis?
On a weekly basis, about $200 a month or a week. Sorry,
so $200 a month. Whoa.
No, sorry. It's I would say between $800 and $1,000 a month.
Right. So. Yeah, it works out. Yeah, so $8 to $1,000. That's just to feed your family.
Yep.
That's not to provide housing, your utilities, all that stuff. Now, granted, the Air Force, like, oh, you have a family, here's X amount more because you are doing this. A lot of people don't have that option.
You're absolutely right.
So, for something like gaming, let's be honest, gaming is a great luxury activity. There's lots of other luxury activities. There's snowmobiling, dirt biking, mountain biking, hiking, gaming,
golfing, fishing.
Right?
Name it.
Yeah,
it's out there.
So, and when you look at trying to exist, things take priority. Food, housing, the stuff you need to survive. Everything else takes the hit. Yeah. What we talk about gaming. Hey, look, this army's $60. Oh, it's $25 to ship it to me.
Yeah.
So that $60 game has now, let's be honest. Board games, like good board games now, they're $100.
Yeah,
You know,
it's true.
the aforementioned Fear of the Unknown that I'm waiting for, that season 3 core set, you know, you buy that, you can play the game. You have everything you need. You don't need all the other expansions. That's $100.
Yeah.
So you know, you figure, you know, you want to spend a decent amount on shipping, because, you know, you're spending $100 on this, so you want to make sure it shows up. You know, you're probably going to be looking at, if you're not going through an Amazon, you know,
$20 to $30 worth of shipping.
right now. If you find it for, you know, let's back that up. You know, so you're buying it for $100, you might be able to get free shipping.
Yes,
because you're paying $100. But if you find it for $75, you're going to pay $25 in shipping. So it's breaking even. It's the same. TT Combat on, and we kind of went back and forth on this, Bruce and I. They have an entire board for Drop Zone.
Yeah.
And it's like 100 something pounds. And they specifically say on a little asterisk, this does not qualify for a free 100-pound shipping. Meaning if you spend 100 pounds, you get the shipping for free. They specifically say that does not qualify for that because of the weight and the cost of what it is to ship it. So, you know, it's one of those things where, yeah, some people are going to, you know, they're going to have to bring things back on shipping. They're either going to have to go to a brick and mortar and pick it up and drive it home, which, you know...
Well, this
go ahead.
This statement actually came from a brick and mortar who didn't know if they were going to be able to pay the shipping costs to buy restocks.
Well, because having had a brick and mortar, you know, I had to spend X amount of dollars to my distributor to get the product shipped to me, and then the shipping cost. And then I had to market price to cover the expense of the shipping and the product itself from the distributor. I had to mark it up to cover my rent, to put money in my pocket, to keep my lights on for the store, you know, all the stuff. So that, you know, and we'll just use this, you know, it's a nice round number. That $100 board game you buy from a brick and mortar store, that's not going into the pocket. Half that's going to pay for the product to go on the shelf. Then another fourth of that is going to the essentials of the business to keep the lights on and the doors open. Yeah. And then that quarter you have left, half of that is going to go to, let's say, you know, the store is big enough that it has employees. That's going to go to paying their paychecks. Then that last eighth you got, maybe that goes into your pocket.
Yeah.
So when that shipping cost goes up, either you have to raise that price of that final product so much more, then people are going to be like, I can't afford that. I'm not buying that. And then it sits there, collects dust. Now they're out that much more money because it's not being sold and it's sitting there. So,
yeah,
you know, I could see it being an issue. Because I want to say, I don't want to talk too much. That Fear of the Unknown pledge that I'm waiting for, I spent $100 on shipping. That was for, you know, the big giant, you know, 30, got not even 30, probably like 40 centimeter tall Cthulhu statue. That's not a mini. The season 3, season 4, the Kickstarter pledge box, the extra gods, and all the add-ons, right? So there's a lot there, but that's also a lot for shipping. So I could see where, you know, if shipping goes up too much, I could see a lot of these games, like, you know, people are going to have to pay a lot more for them.
Yeah.
And then let's also look at this too. You know, as other things go up, right? When you enter a tournament, you pay a fee, right?
Yeah.
That fee usually goes to the TO for their time, effort, energies, and materials that they use for hosting the tournament, prize support, etc. Prize support. Prizes cost money. They have shipping. So tournament entries are going to go up because prize support's going to go up. It's going to be a
revolving door.
You know, there's no, like, you know, cut the price here to balance it out. No, everything's got to keep going. And that's the unfortunate side effect of, you know, as we go about doing things, and oh my God, the sync is really off on the recording and the video. This, this is gonna be pretty terrible. I just looked over at the recording of us, and it's like what I'm saying. It's like half second later, then my mouth is.
Oh
moving.
man.
Yeah. But yeah, it's an unfortunate thing, and I could see some of these smaller companies, and Kickstarter's trying to become a company where it's like they're going to have some costs that they can't eat,
Yeah.
or eat as easily, or the actual person behind the efforts doesn't actually eat, like
Yeah.
like they can't afford food kind of thing.
Yep. Exactly. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how the rest of this industry goes, and as time goes on, with
Which
hopefully we'll have a
and that might be part of the trend we're seeing of more of these companies doing, digital, products.
STLs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they don't have to actually ship those. I mean, because not every, and I'm going to lump TT Combat into this conversation. TT Combat, Games Workshop,
Cradle Studios.
I don't know, because they're talking about like not bringing in Armor Clash and stuff like that, and that's not a small company either. So maybe that's not a good comparison to throw TT Combat in there. Of they're big enough to eat some of these costs somewhere else. Yeah, this is actually becoming a really depressing conversation. I'm really disappointed in Bruce for making us talk about this without him here, because I'm now getting depressed. Well, I mean,
No, it's true, because
yeah,
all these small companies, all these niche companies that we like to play various games with, they could be the ones struggling.
especially when you look at what they do. Like who is it? Cricket Dice.
Yeah.
Their minis are super reasonably priced. Like £5 for a mini, not £30 for a mini or whatever Games Workshop charges. How is Crooked Dice staying in business when they have to pay shipping costs and stuff like that?
Yeah, the shipping cost is going to be a whole lot more than actually producing the mini, most likely.
Yeah, even that Sergeant Slaughter I got from Hoplite Studios, where it's all 3D printed. The mini was $10. It was $5 in shipping, I think. Like 50% of what I paid for the mini was an additional add-on for shipping.
Yeah.
Granted, $15 is still like, I can pay $15. That's a small price. But what happens when the $10 for the mini and then the shipping's $10?
Yeah.
It's just like, that's, and I want to say at some point we're going to reach a bubble or a plateau where everything evens out again, where what we're paying for the game and what we're paying for shipping like reaches that balance again. What
happy medium.
What I'd say like 5-10 years ago, pre-COVID.
Yeah.
And like I said at the beginning when I talked about this, that was the excuse Mythic Games kept using for everything. Oh, shipping has gone up. Shipping has gone up. They kept saying that even after shipping had gone back down, because we did hit a huge bubble of shipping costs had gone astronomical, but they had dropped back down, and Mythic was still using that excuse of we don't have money because it's gone up. Well, no, it hasn't. They've got back down. What are you doing?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's an unfortunate part of global commerce.
Yep.
And then administrations, depending on the country, Brexit. Brexit has caused shipping issues for Europe dealing with British products and vice versa. The United States is toying with increased tariffs.
Yep.
Which means anything produced outside of certain countries for certain products, the price on them is going to go up just for them to get into the country, and that's something we the end user is going to have to pay. So
yep.
It's
Absolutely.
It's a vicious cycle of how much do you love your hobby to keep it going versus what it's costing you to partake in it.
Yeah.
And that's why I think, and this is part of the reason why I got out of Magic, is every 3 months, Magic the Gathering was a $500 to $600 sink. as the new stuff comes out. My Space Wolves army, I can use that for the next however many years. Sure, I'll have to buy a new codex. Sure, I'll have to do this, and that's the problem with some of these companies is, once you and I have that miniature, we can use it for however long, and the company's not getting that money, so they've always got to do something to get more sales, get more stuff going. It's just, I'm depressed now. I want to go. I want to turn the recording off, and I want to go into the bedroom and turn the lights off and have a good cry now.
I'm sorry. Well, we got some events to talk about first.
Yeah. So let me ask you this then, Socks. Let's say hobby starts becoming unsustainable at the level it is. Where do you cut first?
I would probably start looking at some of the games that I don't play anymore, like Legion, Armada, and sell those. Keep the ones that I really enjoy, and go from there.
Yeah, I'm kind of in that same boat. Like, I want Biofissers. I haven't bought them because, one, I can't.
You don't have anybody to play with.
I don't have anyone to play with. I already have a substantial Shaltari fleet. I can't justify having that second fleet. I've got a shelf up behind me of great stuff to play.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's like, over here I've probably got about half of that. I could probably just be like, I'll sell it and I won't miss it. So yeah. Jesus Christ, JP. Dude. So just so everyone can hear this, because this has to be heard for, I was going to say the world, but we don't have that big of a listenership. JP just said, yeah, I don't have any of the ones that require lubricant, going back to my butt plug comment earlier. So, JP, thank you for reinforcing what I said and backing me up. I appreciate that. Also, the world needed to hear that. Yeah, shipping prices, though, it's...
They got to come back down, or the hobby's going to suffer even more as we continue.
And the other thing, too, is as remote as I live, and I make it sound like I live in, like, the middle of nowhere in a one-horse town. I do live in the first world environment. I do have all the modern conveniences. I have high-speed internet. I have all the conveniences I need. But for some of the random things that, you can't get at, the Walmart and stuff like that, I go through Amazon. And unfortunately, that is also killing things too, because, all these mass vendors that, they're huge conglomerates that are faceless, that, they do have the ability to absorb that cost and say, oh yeah, you can buy it for this and get free 2-day shipping to your door. It actually, so this is a little off-topic caveat. There's some remote villages in Alaska, sorry, and virtually everyone there pays for a Prime membership. Yeah. Because that Prime shipping gets them stuff in 5 days for free shipping that usually costs $70 to $80 in shipping.
Yep.
So they're like, yeah, we get stuff in like 5 days. It normally costs us $80 though, so we love Amazon. So I'll say this: at least Jeff is making it so that like some of these very remote, isolated areas, are able to get some first world conveniences easier now. So I'll give him that much. But yeah, no, like you said, we've got to come to a plateau and get things balanced out again for shipping, because it is starting to get a little
ridiculous.
I was going to say unbalanced. Yeah, we're at this now.
Tournaments, demos, conventions, that kind of stuff.
So a little bit of a short list. We got the Melbourne Figure Painting Collective, the 1st of December, because Bruce will only write dates in his format, till 5 p.m. this is at the gaming arena. If anything, you should check out their page on Facebook. Just looking at their the space they have is, excuse me, pretty impressive. We got CanCon the 25th to the 27th of January at the Epic Exhibition Park in Canberra. We don't have any more details on that right now. And then at CanCon, there's going to be a Drop Fleet Commander version 2 tournament. Details still to be confirmed. So if you're able to go to CanCon and play Drop Fleet, keep your ears peeled. There's going to be a tournament there.
Yep.
And then Drop Fleet Commander painting competition. I know, as we said, Drop Squad a few times, but with that Kickstarter pushback, probably till next year. It's a Drop Fleet competition now.
Yep.
Black Friday. I'm assuming that's when it starts. Otherwise, that ain't a long time to get stuff painted.
No, that's
in a week.
Less than a week. Anybody, if you're gonna do it.
So yeah, for sure. A little bit of a light list. It is that holiday season, though. I mean, here in the United States, we've got Thanksgiving, which is the extra one, but rest of the first world, I will say, we do have Christmas coming up, which that does take a lot of time for family and stuff like that. So I know the events do suffer. So. But yeah, want to give a big shout out to Valhalla Hobby, our sponsor for this and pretty much every episode for the last 2 years now. They've been super awesome. And quite frankly, they are an awesome store. I know I've said this. I got my Army Painter paint set through there because it is the best price I could find. They virtually have everything. They have all the traditional stuff. They have your Warhammer. They have Bushido. They've got
Dystopian Wars.
Yeah, they got Dystopian Wars. They've got some Magic the Gathering. I mean, if it's in the hobby space, there's a good chance they have it. And if they don't have it, they can probably get it for you. They're up in Verona, Wisconsin, or as a lot of people like to say, Wisconsin. We actually just set a puppy up there. The girl puppy we had, she went to Wisconsin. So I don't know where it's at in relation to the store, but that's where she's at. So maybe I'll go visit her and it'll give me an excuse to stop by. But here in the United States are huge. So
States are huge.
But yeah, just want to give a big shout out to Valhalla Hobby. Again, if you use code TABLED at checkout, if the order is over $100, you get 5% off. That is a one-use code. So. But please, do support the people that do support us. It's a happy revolving circle of, they'll keep supporting us if you keep supporting them, and we'll keep talking about them, and it goes around and around and around. Again, Patreons, we do love the support we get from them. JP is with us right now, listening to us ramble on uselessly about shipping prices and things like that, and it costs him $2 a month. For that $2, he gets some entertainment, I guess. I would probably maybe call it a light form of torture. I don't know.
One of the two.
And then after the show, if there is time, we do typically hang out with people and talk with them too. So for $2 a month, you do get a decent value of content from us, or from the little we do ask for. So
he calls it a night with the guys without having to leave the house. So yep. I have to agree, JP.
And you know what that translates into? Because I won't stand up to show this, but if it's a night out with the guys without leaving the house, that means pants are optional.
Sure. He said usually. So, anyways.
Let's see. That's the stupid bumper that I did for Bruce to make him sound like a. So. Again, thank you for tuning in and listening to this episode of Getting Tabled. You can find us at patreon.com/gettingtabled.com. Patreon.com/gettingtabled. $2 a month. That's all it is. That's all video content with the holidays and stuff like that. And waiting on CMON to ship stuff. Some of the unboxings have been delayed. I've got, I think, 3 from them, and it's just like, where are they at? But for $2 a month, you get all the content early. The video, this episode will be a little bit delayed because it is getting late, and I have to do the editing and the uploading, and that will take some time, and I want sleep. But also, if you go to gettingtable.com, which is possible because of our supporters, you can check out all those links out there. Facebook.com/Game Table is usually where we post the links to all of the videos and the podcast when they go live. You can find the videos at youtube.com/Game Table. Please give us a like, subscribe, push those numbers up. We love it. If you got questions, comments, anything you want us to know about, questions for us, things we should know about, you can email us at gettingtabled@gmail.com. We have Discord in the Discord links in the description, and then Instagram, Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. Threads is at Getting Tabled. Jason the Bruce, obviously you won't find him there because, well, he's out on his motorcycle, but he's got twitch.tv/Jason the Bruce. He has been a little more active on it from what he said, so give him a follow there, check him out. And then Bruce's other project, which is youtube.com/toyreel, where, well, they talk about toys, which is pretty adjacent to this. So if you like the action figures, because I know they got the Warhammer from Joy Toy that, I've found myself like, do I buy this or no? Definitely give that a look at and give it a follow and like if that's your thing too. Socks. What are your plans for the next few days? Because it's America's Gluttonous Holiday coming up.
It is America's Gluttonous Holiday coming up, but I'm going to try and knock out my last final over the next 3 days. I don't have class at all this week, so Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, I'm going to try and knock out my last final. That way I don't have to worry about it. I can be freedom.
I have a 11-pound turkey and a Costco-sized pork loin to smoke.
Nice. Yep, we got a 15-pound turkey that we'll be cooking on Thursday ourselves. So, I mean, I got to feed the 5 kids somehow.
Well, I'm not the biggest fan of turkey, but it's the tradition.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen those Costco pork loins, but they're like 3 feet long.
Yes, we get those occasionally, and they are massive, but they're so good.
Yeah, it's like $18 for like, a 3-foot loin of pork. Like, come on.
Yeah, very good stuff. So,
JP said he'll be doing a turducken for Christmas. JP, might I recommend you get some octopus tentacles to make it look like it's been influenced
Cthulhu.
by our good Lord Cthulhu. All right, Sox. Well, I say we wrap this up and we get going on with the rest of our evenings.
Sounds good to me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
For listening to Getting Tabled. Music used in this podcast was created by Eric Matyas at soundimage.org.
If Bruce doesn't come back with a face tattoo, I'm going to be sorely disappointed.
Oh, that'd be funny.